Welcome to Horror Year, where every story is a journey into the unknown. If you're brave enough to face your darkest fears and uncover the most chilling tales, you've come to the right place. So, dim the lights, turn up the volume, and subscribe to Horror Year. Your journey into terror begins now. If you're here, you're probably like me, a fan of stories that take you to the edge of your seat and leave you glancing over your shoulder long after the lights go out. Today, I've got something that's not for the faint of heart. Picture this: a group of friends, a seemingly innocent dare, and a curiosity that leads them down a path darker than they ever imagined. What starts as a fun night quickly turns into a waking nightmare, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one. 4 college students gathering around a dimly lit dorm room, tired of the typical thrills from ghost stories and horror movies, started it as a joke between friends. The tech expert in the group, Evan, mentioned the dark web and its stories of secret locations where unbelievable things occur. The others, Melissa, Sarah, and Jake, snorted, half buying it, half ignoring it. However, curiosity can be harmful. With a playful grin, Evan said, "Come on, let's take a peek," his fingers already skimming over his laptop's keys. "I'm not sure, Evan. That material is prohibited, correct?" With a hint of doubt in her voice, Sarah inquired. Evan comforted her, saying, "It's only illegal if we do something stupid. We're merely observing. Nothing harmful about that." Sarah grudgingly accepted after some persuasion from Jake and Melissa, who were more daring. When Evan launched the Tor browser, a sea of obscure URLs, many of which required a password to access, filled the screen. Evan spent some time scrolling through before selecting the link for the showroom. At first glance, it appeared modest, a simple black screen with a tiny chat window tucked away in the corner. "It's boring," Jake said. Evan sighed and narrowed his eyes as he typed, "Just wait," and asked, "What is the showroom?" in the chat window. A few moments afterward, the screen wavered. "Are you ready to see what's behind the curtain?" read the message that appeared. After pausing, Evan typed back, "Yes." The screen abruptly turned black. They momentarily believed that the connection had broken, and then there was a flickering, fuzzy video stream. The visual showed a tiny, windowless room, similar to one you could find in a basement. One chair, fastened to the floor, stood in the middle. Up until a door creaked open on the screen, the room appeared empty and unoccupied. A figure stepped into the space. It was a woman with a mask covering her face and slow, methodical movements. Her white dress was smeared with a black substance, possibly blood. Grit? Nobody said anything. Through the subpar speakers, they could hear her heavy, distorted breathing. "What on earth is this?" Melissa held Jake's arm and whispered. Unsure of what to do, Evan's hands lingered over the keyboard as he continued to observe. Another message read, "We see you," in the chat box before he could make up his mind. Everybody froze. "Evan, switch it off." Sarah's voice was suddenly urgent, but Evan's face was colorless as he stared at the TV. "That's not what I typed," he muttered. He was not typing on the keyboard. With a leisurely turn, the woman on film seemed to have heard them. Her covered face appeared to be staring either directly into or, worse, through the camera. The display wavered once more. After then, something altered. When the camera panned in, it showed a little soiled plaque behind the woman on the wall. On it was an address. Sarah was having trouble breathing. "That's the old building across from our campus, Evan." The space grew chilly. Jake mumbled, "No way," but his voice was shaky. "That location has been closed for many years. It's just a simple practical joke." "Come closer," was the fresh message that flashed on the screen before anyone could grasp what was happening. "We have you waiting for us." The screen abruptly went black, leaving the room completely dark. The laptop's speakers produced a gentle, rhythmic sound that sounded like someone tapping on a window. The noise intensified, become more demanding. Melissa leaped to her feet and surveyed the space. "Evan, is this a joke? Inform me if this is a joke," Evan coughed out, his face pallid. "It's not me." The tapping persisted, unrelenting. Then, faint but obvious, they heard it. The identical knocking sound, but from their dorm door this time. "Please don't open it," Sarah muttered. "I beg you not to open it." However, Jake, always the doubter, had already started to move. "This is foolish. They are tampering with us." Reaching across the room, he reached for the doorknob. He inhaled deeply and pulled it open. There was nobody present. They all peered into the empty hallway for a long, eerie minute. Sarah let out a scream. Something little and white lay on the floor, right outside their door. With his heart racing in his chest, Jake took a step forward. Slowly, he knelt down to pick it up. When he recognized it for what it was, a mask, his blood turned cold. The exact mask that was worn by the woman in the video. Abruptly, the tapping started up again, but this time it was coming from all directions. On the door, the windows, and the walls. It was encroaching on everything. Even after Evan slammed the laptop shut, the noises continued. He stumbled. "We need to get out of here." Without turning around, they ran toward the hallway. They continued walking down the stairs and into the chilly night air until they were well away from the dorm and the knockers. They huddled together outside the old, abandoned building across from campus, gasping and shaking. Dark and silent, the address from the video loomed before them. "What brought us here?" Melissa inquired, hardly raising her voice beyond a whisper. Evan uttered false words while glaring at the building. "We didn't. Something led us to this place." The building's door slowly creaked open, as though it had been waiting for them. Sarah whispered, "No. We must go now. Right now." However, a figure loomed large in the shadows before they could move. Gleaming in the faint light, it was the woman from the video. She just stood there in the doorway. Then the knocking began again, quiet and rhythmic and unrelenting from the darkness behind her. Evan started to run, but he was halted abruptly by something. His phone screen flashed a notification, telling him not to peek behind the curtain. The tapping became more intense and nearer, until it was all they could hear. The screen immediately went dark. And there you have it, folks. What started as a harmless joke quickly spiraled into something far more sinister. Proof that some doors should never be opened, and some games are better left unplayed. So, the next time someone mentions exploring the dark web for a thrill, maybe think twice. After all, you never know who or what might be waiting on the other side of the screen. If this story sent chills down your spine, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who loves a good scare. And remember, when it comes to the unknown, sometimes it's better not to peek behind the curtain. Stay safe, stay spooky, and I'll see you in the next one.